Hello everyone, welcome back to Dark Souls, my playthrough of it at least. Last time I left off I died climbing up some tree branch, failing somewhere, but I managed to obtain the Firekeeper soul, and if you give it to one of these Firekeepers, so this white spider chick is one case, and if you remember the Firekeeper underneath the Firelink Shrine bonfire, so if you give a Firekeeper soul to them, you can reinforce your Estus Flask. So here I'm skipping all the way. I told you I'll be leaving Blacktown today, and well, I am. And I'm basically going back the way I came down, because the dumbass that I am, I didn't see the shortcut in my previous episode with the ladder that I was talking about. Hopefully you guys don't make the same mistakes that I do if you play the game. But here, since I'm going back the way I came, I figured I might as well get some of the treasures that I left before. So this is near the first bonfire of Blighttown, and hopefully you remember the area. And there are a few items to be found, so let's see what they are. I'll be skipping around a bit in this episode because I'm going back to the Firelink Shrine anyway. This ladder, I see. And we get some shadow armor, and I think the shadow armor is pretty decent against, has pretty decent poison resistance. So if you come to Blighttown and you're having trouble with the poison, it'd be decent to equip it. It reduces your overall armor, but you know, if you need the resistance, it's good to have it. Now, if you also remember near the first bonfire, there was an item above this area here, and that's how you get it. You have to run and jump to get the Aito, I think it's called. And just to show you that this is the bonfire, the first bonfire here, so you have to run and jump from a platform above. So again, I'll be switching. This was just to show that the merchant that was here is gone in the depths. So again, I'm making my way back all the way up to the Firelink Shrine. So hopefully you guys remember the areas that I'm pointing out here. And this is the bonfire that's from the area in the depths. I just decided to level up a bit. I think I go for strength so that I can equip. There was a new catalyst we got in the last episode called the Tin Banishment Catalyst, I think, and what that does, you can also use it as a weapon. And so the thing is, you need strength to be 10 to use it, and quite a few of your shields need strength 10 as well, so it's not a bad investment if you're a mage class to get strength up to 10. You just open up your options a bit more. So this is the Tin Banishment Catalyst. The magic effect is a bit lower than the normal catalyst.
Oh, hello there.
But you can use it as a weapon.
Days. Why? What spectacular pyromancy? Tell me about it. I have never seen anything like it.
So if you want to keep Laurentius here, say no.
Yes, of course. Thank you for sharing. I'm still an able pyromancer. I shall locate her myself.
So you see, since I told him about, because I joined the Covenant and got a Chaos fire spell, he was interested where I got it from. So by telling him where you get it from, he goes down to Blighttown in the swamps, and you basically can buy fire spells or upgrade your pyromancy flame.
Primitive aspect to it. It messes poorly with advanced culture, and pyromancers are considered rather unsavoury, which is fine, as I never got along with anybody anyway. So, for me, turning undead didn't change a thing.
So you see, I actually wanted to learn some pyromancy, you know, make it like a secondary class But I basically screwed that up by first killing Engi, the guy that was guarding the Chaos Servant Covenant near the Kelax domain. And also here we find out that our bonfire is not lit anymore.
Did you ring the second bell? That is incredible, I must say. But now we have a new problem. It's noisy, it snores, and its breath is lethal. This is no laughing matter, I tell you.
What are you talking about, mate? But anyway, as I was saying, the pyromancy, since I killed Engi and now Laurentius is gonna go off on his own, I'm kinda screwed for pyromancy. And here, what's happened here? Okay, so the firekeeper is dead. And if you remember from one of my earlier episodes before going into Blighttown, when we first met this girl, Lautrec, there was the knight we freed from the undead church, was talking about moving on up and, you know, sort of like dealing with the firekeeper or something like that. So apparently we can, I think, assume that he killed her, and we get this item, let's look what it does, the black eye orb. So we can invade the world of the murderer of a firekeeper. So we can actually go after Lautrec, and we can actually reclaim the soul of the firekeeper. And this thing works in Anolondo, which we haven't visited yet. So when we get there, we'll have the option to get back the firekeeper's soul. So a decent sort of like small side mission to partake in. But the consequence of that is that we can't use the Firelink Shrine bonfire at this particular moment in time. So let's see what else is new here. And just touching back on the pyromancy flame thing, so if you want to keep your pyromancy spells and you want to keep learning them, either make sure Engi is alive, so the dude that was guarding the white spider lady, or keep Laurentius here. Don't tell him about where you learned the chaos spell. And let's see, oh, there's something else here. What is this? The background noise is some munching noise. Kind of irritating.
Ah, hello. Was it you who rang the bell of awakening?
Yes, it was.
I am the primordial serpent, King Seeker Frant, close friend of the great Lord Gwyn, chosen undead, who has rung the bell of awakening. I wish to elucidate your fate. Do you seek such enlightenment?
No. What do you care?
Very well. Then I am pleased to share. Chosen undead, your fate is to succeed the great Lord Gwyn, so that you may link the fire, cast away the dark, and undo the curse of the undead. To this end, you must visit Anolondo and acquire the Lord Vessel.
Alright. Seems like we've got to focus to our mission.
I am pleased to see you well. Is it something urgent?
Not really. Also, we can feed him stuff. I think we get souls in return. I can't remember what we get in return. I don't really feed him anything because I don't know if there's any point to it. As you can see, you get like 50 souls back.
Those who seek the realm of lords must brave Sen's fortress, a deadly house of traps. Many have gone before you, but none have returned. Fate has chosen you, but proceed with caution.
Okay.
Farewell,
So we have to go to Sen's fortress, wherever that is. And here I just mess around for a bit, so we'll be skipping. Oh, the crew is still here at least. So we'll be skipping around to the blacksmith near the undead church.
Why, that's a fine ember you have there. I could smith some mighty weapons with one of those. Why not lend it to me?
Okay.
Magnificent! You won't be
Magnificent.
disappointed. I can hardly wait to get started.
So apparently that ember thing allows us to... I'm not sure if we could already upgrade our short sword to +6, but I'm pretty sure we couldn't upgrade it to a raw short sword yet. So I think that particular ember, the large ember, allows you to upgrade your +5 weapon to a raw weapon. And I'm not sure, I don't quite remember what raw does. I think it increases your strength attribute. I can't remember. Probably it's not something I particularly care for, because being a mage class is not something I care for. And here I'm skipping to show you that I'm heading to the Darkroot Basin in the forest area. And what I'm basically gonna do is take on this Hydra, this Miniboss. From before, if you remember him from before, he was pretty much kicking my ass. And so it's time for payback. New armor, new weapons, new spells. Hopefully we can take him on better. Whoa! Got some items here. Some knight armor. And here, unfortunately, I fall down to my death, because this is when I first realized that there's actually a ledge there you can fall under. So I just wanted to show that to you, to show my first attempt at revenge failing kind of miserably. But yeah, but we try again. We adjust some of our spells, and we hit back at the Hydra. Here I'm just pointing out that I'm laying down a summon sign, because you'll see why in a bit. And also, if you remember, there are some crystal golems here, but I'm taking care of them off screen so that, you know, fighting them is kind of boring. Let's get straight to the action, basically. We recovered! So we're able to take more damage, or handle more damage. Doing pretty decent damage as well with our great soul arrow. Oh, that looked like an almost good dodge. Unfortunately, when you're locked on, you can move the camera around, so if I could, I'd pan up a bit so that you could see all the Hydra's their heads. I think there was like 7 or 8 of them. But unfortunately, when you're locked on, you can't do that, so we'll have to make do with this view. As you can tell, it gets a bit hard. I think that was a lucky call there. Basically what happens, the more you injure the Hydra, their heads fall off one by one. And that way it's also less dangerous, because the less heads there are, the less chances for them to break your shield or break your guard and injure you. You could also see I tried to use the Great Chaos Fireball there, but it has a limited range, so can't use it really. Well, you could. The thing is, I didn't realize about this fight is actually the body itself, what you're locked onto, what the target I'm locked onto at the moment is too far away for me to use my magic spells to hit it. What I'm actually hitting when I do damage is actually the heads when they come down and they are in front of my target area. So basically it's been not luck, but it's been basically coincidence that I've been hitting it. I haven't realized it at this time, so I'm wondering why I've been hitting it before when now I'm not hitting it. to realize that. Oh, and we get summoned, unfortunately, right in the middle of fighting our mini-boss, with decent damage done as well. The thing is, I'm not going to show the co-op because we basically failed to do anything anyway. I get disconnected from the Master of the World. And the thing is, I put a summon there because I wanted to help someone out with the Hydra. But then the guy that summoned me had already killed the Hydra in his world. So that didn't help much. And bam, we get straight back into the fight with the Hydra. And it's back at full life. And I'm also have less spells with me because the spells during co-op they get eaten up. So we have to do this all over again. I think here I'm starting to realize that I need to actually hit the heads. Whether that be when they fall down or when they're going back up, because I can actually hit the body from here. And the thing is, you can't lock onto the individual heads. You can only lock onto the body. And you know, using magic without locking on is pretty hard compared to using melee without locking on. So I'm still adjusting to this fight. It's pretty different from the other boss fights because, again, you're not really relying on the lock on. You have to rely on hitting the heads. So we'll be doing this at a slowish pace. I'll pan up to see all the heads, see how many are left. And I'm still taking my time, figuring out if I really need to hit the heads or not. As you can see, the life bar only shows up over the target, so... But indeed hitting the heads does cause them some pain. So this is going to be slow, especially since my weapon doesn't do that much damage anyway. So I'm going to be fast forwarding this, because it's basically the same thing over and over again for a few minutes. Sometimes magic does work, but for the most part your best tactic would be to aim for the heads. But don't worry, I don't fast forward the whole fight. Hopefully the fast forwarding usually is pretty clear as well, so hopefully you guys get a decent clue of what I'm doing. So one more head's gone. Now we've got the top half, basically. The thing with the top half though is that since they attack further away, I have to move backwards, but the more backwards I go, the more likely they are to use their magic attack rather than their physical attack, which means I just have to dodge. Plus moving in water is pretty slow. At least with the more heads you kill, like I mentioned earlier, the less likely they are to break your guard or break your shield and injure you. So we've got a couple more here. And we're doing okay for a boss that was pretty much owning me before. We got stronger and now we're not owning it, but we've got things under control basically. Hit it! Yeah! I could probably have used a better weapon, but at least as you see, if you're too far away they use magic. What as I was saying, I could probably use a better weapon, but it would mean equipping. At least I can move faster with this catalyst, because it's only 2 kilos or 2 pounds. I'm not sure what the units used for weight in this game is, but basically I move faster like this. The other thing I didn't mention was that you gotta aim manually because you're not locked onto the heads. I probably mentioned it earlier. And do we get it? Do we get it? Oh. And we defeated the Hydra. Yes. Alright, so this is the end of this episode. See you next time.